I will talk about CHEMAXON supported Java flavors. First, I will give you a brief introduction of these changes. First of all, Oracle decided to monetize the Java ecosystem, and they want to make money of it. They made a couple of changes in the last year, and first, I will summarize these changes. They will release 2 Java versions in a year, and there will not be overlap in the support period of these changes. It is very important because after 6 months you will not be able to download any kind of security updates for these releases. So either you purchase a long-term support version, which was as well introduced by them, or you have to follow these releases, these rapid releases. Or there is another alternative, but I will talk about that later. It's very important that they already released the first long-term support version. It was Java 11 in last September, and they will provide for this release. They will provide support for this release for 8 years, but it's a paid support version. But everything is open source, which is very important, and more on that later. CHEMAXON commitment is that products are actively tested on certain Java flavors. I mean OpenJDK, Oracle Java, Oracle OpenJDK, but the details will come later in the next slide. But it's also very important that it doesn't mean that we are not compatible with the rest of the flavors because of how Java is working, how they make sure that you are compatible with the rest of the flavors as well. So there are a number of flavors. First of all, there is the normal, or the one you used probably before, the Oracle Java Standard Edition, which has the commercial long-term support release. There is also the Oracle OpenJDK. It is basically the base version of all other OpenJDK flavors. It's an open source distribution of Java, and it's free. But it doesn't have long-term support version. However, there are other distributions like Adopt OpenJDK, which is a community-released version of OpenJDK, and has long-term support version, and its backers are big companies like IBM, Red Hat, so you can count on that. And it's very safe to use, in my opinion. And actually, CHEMAXON recommends to use these flavors. This is our primary distribution, what we recommend currently. You are also safe to use other distributions, like Amazon has its Corretto, or there are other distributions like Red Hat, Ubuntu, Debian. They also have own distribution. They packaged into their operating system, and you can download it. It's also safe, and you should be able to run our software on these versions with no problem, really. As for versions, we always support the current long-term support version, which is currently Java 8 and Java 11, and the next will be the version 17, which will be released in 2021. We also support the rapid release, which is currently version 12, and you can use that as well. It has a couple of benefits, actually. We are testing our softwares on Linux, Windows, and Macintosh operating system too, so you can safely use this operating system with no problem. if you face any kind of problem, then find us on the standard support channels, because it has to work, really. But we can do more. And this is very important, that OpenJDK has a permissive licensing. It's open source, but because of its permissive licensing, we are allowed to package or bundle these OpenJDK distributions into our installers. And we started preparing this kind of packages installers for Windows and Linux distributions too, and of course Macintosh too. And we do this because this way you can avoid conflicts between softwares and its Java requirements, and make your system administrator's life easier and safer, actually. We also started preparing Docker images, free downloadable Docker images. We released them on CHEMAXON Hub, and we already have a couple of releases for certain softwares, but more coming soon, very soon. Really, please follow us on Twitter, because we will announce changes on that platform. Please find us if you have any question, and we are interested in your opinion. So we either after this session or later or by email, please share your opinion, which distribution and which version you plan to use or do you use currently, because that's how we want to make changes to this topic, if anything more is needed. Thank you. Do you have questions?